Hello friends, this is Dr. Sunil Tumala. I'm a practicing neurologist. I'm a yoga instructor and avid reader of quantum mechanics and Vedanta. I'm also a freelance writer. Today, we are going to discuss how to evaluate an article or an essay or anything that you read or listen. How do you evaluate? How do you know that it's true? How do you know it is valid? How do you know it is trustworthy? So if you want to know this basic thing, listen to the next 10 minutes. Okay, so in the background here, I put there evaluating information sources. The kiddo presents his homework or essay, whatever, and he gets a F grade because he got the things straight out of internet and he thinks they are facts. And that is the mindset of most of the people. And they believe what they read and have seen innumerable examples like this. Whatever they see, whatever they hear, whatever they read, they believe they are true. And this leads to disasters. Okay, so there are two types of articles you essentially encounter, whether it's opinion pieces, whether it's statements, whether what you read in any journal, whether it's what you read in a newspaper or what you hear on a TV or YouTube. There are mainly two types: peer-reviewed, non-peer-reviewed. A peer-reviewed means it has been reviewed by multiple people of similar expertise and they gave their stamp of approval. That's called peer-reviewed. Doesn't mean they are true. We'll go into that. The second type is non-peer-reviewed. These are just publications, not reviewed by anyone. But sometimes, if I see an article or opinion piece that is published on Facebook, I see multiple people commenting on it. And sometimes that has much more valuable information in those comments than any peer-reviewed journal. So don't discount just because it's not a peer-reviewed. It means it is not trustworthy. Sometimes peer-reviewed articles can have a lot of faultiness. Particularly these peer-reviewed articles written in journals by people at major academic institutions and reviewed by their peers, their colleagues, friends. You scratch my back, I scratch your back, and gets published. One quotes their article, another quotes another article, and then they popularize their articles. Does this make this peer-reviewed article any great? You think? So, two types of articles. How do we evaluate them? Here are the 5 methods, or not 5 methods, here are the 5 steps. Anything that you read, hear, see, doesn't matter, peer-reviewed or not peer-reviewed. It has to meet a common sense criteria. Common sense. If it does not meet a common sense criteria, throw it out, spit it out. Does not make any sense. Okay? Don't forward it, throw it out. You see lots of these kind of things on the internet. And sometimes these are even in published journals. They do not meet common sense criteria. Number 2, conflict of interest. This is a big one. A lot of times, we do not know the conflict of interest in full. the author may disclose some conflicts which are available in public domain, but there are many conflicts that are not disclosed. Example, who funded the writing of this article? What is the motive? What is the agenda behind it? Who is benefiting from this article? What is the relationship of this author to whoever is benefiting or losing? Is it written to benefit someone? Is it written to hurt someone? Is it for name, fame, wealth? Are there any promises made to get certain results? All these are very difficult things to investigate. Some of this you certainly have to investigate on the internet before you even venture into reading the article. Even after you read the article, go back again, look for any conflicts. As I said again, many of these conflicts are not disclosed. So be on the lookout for this conflict of interest. Very small fraction of conflicts are disclosed. And if you go into the actual article, there is a methodology, there is a evidence, there is a conclusion. Is the methodology making sense? Is that method designed to drive certain agenda or to get certain results, which are predetermined results? They have something in mind and they want to show that. Or it is just done to look what they will find. Is the evidence cooked, distorted, biased, or driven by an agenda? How about conclusion? Is the conclusion driven by any agenda? Sometimes we see methodology is good, evidence is good, but the conclusion is faulty. And a lot of times people only read that conclusion and they do not evaluate for any of these other elements, and they keep forwarding to one another and they keep referring to one another in a circular fashion. Buddies refer to other buddies and then keep referring to one another, trying to make a myth into a fact. I have seen it. Myths are portrayed as facts by circular references by multiple people. After a while, people start to believe that that myth is a fact. So when you look at any article, you want to ask these 5 things. Does it meet common sense criteria? Are there any conflicts of interest? Very big one. Very important to investigate this. And certainly the methodology, evidence, and conclusion. Are they syncing well? Is the methodology valid and meets the common sense? Are the evidences collected in an unbiased manner? And of course, the conclusion was drawn based on the evidence, not based on some belief or emotional state. So once you know these 5 elements, you will be able to evaluate an article and find out what is true, what is not true. Just reading a peer-reviewed article does not make it a true. Okay, so now you got some information to know how to evaluate articles. Go and explore.